I don't smoke all the time. Like I was telling her, I don't do heavy drugs. Like I don't do nothing bad. And I get it's still not legal, but it's just a lot of stuff that's going on in my personal life.
All right, so let me ask you this. Do you think I have stressors?
The defendant opens with a familiar line. I don't do heavy drugs. It's just been stressful lately. And right there, you can almost feel the tension in the air. Every defendant thinks stress is the golden ticket to forgiveness. But in Judge Boyd's courtroom, that won't fly. I'll be honest, and have you heard this excuse one too many times before?
Sucks.
If I may,
Yes.
a supplemental report was sent into the court in regards to Ms. Morales. The main issue we're having is relapse in using marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And speak with Ms. Morales this morning. She has a lot of stressors that are going on in her life. And although she was clean for quite some time, because of the stressor, she started using marijuana again. She did indicate to me her last use of marijuana was in September. However, she doesn't know if it's going to be out of her system.
The probation officer steps in calmly, explaining the situation. The defendant relapsed, used marijuana, and might test positive again. To them, it's just another report. But to Judge Boyd, it's another disappointment. The tone is polite, but underneath, everyone knows this could easily turn serious. Do you think the officer's being too soft or showing necessary compassion?
So she may or may not test positive for it. She did indicate that she is looking into getting a medical marijuana passionate use prescription. And the recommendation on our part, probation, is for her to do a stress educational class, and then weekly delays until negative or until she obtains her medical marijuana. She's not tested positive for anything else. There was an instance of a positive for alcohol that was back in June. Her officer did speak to her about that, and she knows she's not supposed to drink alcohol or do marijuana while she's on probation. Other than that, she did do intensive outpatient treatment and reports on time. She's been making her payments as much as.
The excuses pile up: work stress, school stress, family stress. The defendant paints a full picture of chaos: working nights, caring for grandparents, juggling school. You can't help but feel sympathy, but also frustration. Because as Judge Boyd listens quietly, you can see it in his face. He's heard this story 100 times.
She's currently going to school, going books.
So what are your stressors?
I just feel like I was telling her it's a lot. Like I take care of my grandparents. I go to school 8 a.m. till 4. I get out 5 a.m. till 1 in the morning. I go to work. And I said at times, like,
Slow down so I can hear.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
And then, like, I'm a waitress. So I feel like at times it's not always good. Like, I don't make enough, or it's just a lot. Like, I pay my car, I take care of my grandparents. It's just a lot. Like, and I get it's not legal and it's not an excuse, but I don't smoke all the time. Like I was telling her, I don't do heavy drugs. Like, I don't do nothing bad. And I get it's still not legal, but it's just a lot of stuff that's going on in my personal life.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
All right, so let me ask you this. Do you think I have stressors?
Pretty sure.
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of stressors, right?
I'm pretty sure a lot.
So, because I do this, then I do mental.
And then the hammer drops. Judge Boyd leans forward and asks, "Do you think I have stressors?" It's not sarcasm, it's perspective. He lists his endless responsibilities: teaching, mentoring, charity, and reminds her, stress isn't an excuse to break the law. This is the moment that separates accountability from self-pity. What would you have said if the judge asked you that question?
Then I teach. Then I do a lot of charity work for students. This was supposed to be my year of saying no. And I found out I just can't say no. People tell me, hey, can you come and talk to students? And I'm like, yes, I can. Because I always think that maybe something and I say to them, or if I don't go, maybe something will happen. If I do go, maybe that person who is struggling, that will give them the push they need to go on. But I can give you a stress education class, but let me just tell you, you need to sit down and you need to internalize and look at your schedule. And if there's something that's got to give, there's something that's got to give, right? For example, with your grandparents and you're helping take care of them, are there other people in your family who can help take care of them?
Yes, but everybody works. Like, I'm the only one that lives with them. Like, everybody has their own lives, you know?
Now, see, here's the thing. Even though you live with them, at the end of the day, you have your own life too. And when I was in CPS court, we would call it respite care. Sometimes you may need to get away, and that means that other relatives need to step in and maybe give you a break. And you need to tell them, hey.
Judge Boyd's tone softens, but his message cuts deep. He tells her to internalize, to balance her life, to stop carrying every burden alone. For a moment, the courtroom feels less like a punishment and more like therapy. This is why people respect Judge Boyd. He's firm, but he cares. Do you think he's being too gentle here? Or exactly what she needs to hear?
Everybody, I'm on deferred adjudication. I'm trying to get my life together. I'm looking at 2 to 20 years in prison if I mess up, right? And sometimes I need a break. Like sometimes I'm waitressing, and I know waitressing is a hard job. I still don't even understand why they still do this thing, because I have relatives who would be waitresses, do bus work. And you know what? They pay them $2 an hour, and then the rest you're dependent on tip. I don't know how in this country we allow that to be. Do you know when I went to Paris for the first time, all our friends, we thought the waitresses and everybody was just like loving us. We just, these great people. And you know what we were doing? We were dropping tips everywhere. And I mean, when I say tips, it's like, oh, I'll put in $10. We don't want people to think we're, bad Americans. So we're dropping all these tips. And then when we get ready to leave, we find out it's already built in. They're not making $2 an hour. They're making what they need to make for a living, right? So that is why when you go to those restaurants, nobody's rushing you.
Yeah.
To get the next tip. People are sitting there all night and you're wondering why, and that is why. So that's something you'll need to talk to your legislature about. But I understand your stressors. I'm not going to file a motion to revoke or ask them to file a motion to revoke. That's why we're having this compliance hearing. But you need to sit down and you need to reach out to your family members and say, hey, look, I need a break. Can you give me 2 hours where you come over and just let me go to a park?
Out of nowhere, Judge Boyd turns the conversation into a lesson about waitressing, Paris, and how tipping culture undervalues workers. It's unexpected, even heartfelt. He connects her struggle to something bigger, a society that overworks and underpays. For the first time, you can see the defendant listening, really listening. That's not just a judge. That's a teacher in robes.
Regroup. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So what we're going to do, I don't think she needs a stress education course. She needs help. Somebody needs to come and help you because you're doing too much. You have too much on your plate and there's not any room on your plate for you.
Mm.
And you need to carve out some time for you. Otherwise, you know what's going to end up happening? At some point, you're probably going to give up and say, like, whatever, I don't mind. And I don't think you want to go to the prison for a break to get away, right?
No.
So I think adding a stress course for her is just adding pile on. If you feel as though you need a stress course, then you just talk to probation and let them know. But what you need to do.
Then comes the line that defines this hearing. You have too much on your plate and there's no room left for you. That's not judgment. That's truth. He tells her to ask for help, make time for herself, and cut the stress before it cuts her life apart. And just like that, the entire tone shifts from confrontation to compassion. And who else needed to hear that message today?